If you're one of those people that has been working on their personal development for years and sometimes decades and are feeling a bit frustrated, after working with thousands of clients, I wanted to share with you some of the insights of what gets in their way. And at the end, I'm going to share 2 questions that are life-changing. Number 1. You think that you're broken or you need to be fixed or healed. Now, just believing that you need to fix yourself or overcome challenges is telling your subconscious that you're not good enough. And that is a huge inhibitor because as you know, your subconscious is that massive driver. So you're driving yourself with failure before you begin. I want you to reframe it because you're actually perfect right now. When I interviewed Ariel Ford a few years ago, she had the best definition for perfection, which is pure fiction. What I encourage you to do is celebrate where you are right now and know that you can evolve, but you are perfect as you are. Number 2 is letting your mind be the master. Now, we're always told how smart and quick and, fascinating we are. And intellect has such a big part of our society. But here's what I know. You can't overcome the challenge with the same mechanism that created the problem. Unless you're one of those rare few that have the ability to expand and look at perspectives, you've got to get to the heart and to your emotions. Now, your mind is only there trying to protect you, but it's often also the greatest inhibitor. I want you to tell the mind that there's a new sheriff in town and it's your heart and your feelings. Focus on what you truly want, and just every time some of that stinking thinking comes up, you've got to stop it in its tracks and replace it with what you truly desire. Number 3 is focusing on the extroverse or the world around you instead of the introverse as the world within you. You hear it a lot of times. Oh, it's the company or my manager or my spouse or the kids or the friends or whatever it is, the government, pick one. All those things are outside yourself, and you're giving your power away because the locus of control is within you. As you've heard, as within, so without. So make sure you start navigating back to your needs. And you'll probably realize as you change your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that the world around you also changes too. Number 4, and this is a huge one for people, they don't actually realize until they really start getting introspective that they don't know who they are. I have spoken to so many people and asked them, what makes you happy? Well, they can often tell me what doesn't make them happy. Or we look at their values and then they realize there's somebody else's values, either society's, cultures, or their parents. And they are chasing all this stuff. But what they really want is a state of happiness or peace or joy or abundance. If you're not clear on who you are, you're actually a passenger on somebody else's bus. So those components are really important. And that's why my whole inversion series is based on the pillars of clarity that feeds confidence and then the courage to be you and beyond. Number 5, using somebody else's recipe for success and expecting it to work for us. Now, there's no coincidence that the personal development industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry because we're all trying to find the next fix. I think it's really good to keep in mind that only part of their solution might work. It's like we both have a cake and the recipe is fundamentally the same, but I might need the Black Forest cake and you might need the red velvet. Foundationally similar, but that tweak that would make it delicious to either of us and make our life more delicious, we have to find that bespoke component. That's why I'm really keen on using frameworks. The frameworks are the same for everybody, but the outcomes are very different. Make sure you find the mix that works for you because it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Number 6, I don't know if you've noticed, but the world around us has changed, and as a result of us living in it, we've also changed. So be mindful of using outdated success models. I always hear, if I do such and such, then I'll have something and then I'll be happy. And there's that real gap between the doing and the having, which is telling your subconscious mind that, hello, loser, you don't have it yet. And that's not something you want to program, which is basically saying that you can't be in the state that you desire, peaceful, happy, joyous, whatever it is, until you do something and have something. It's not the way things are working. The new models are be, do, have. You have to be the state you want to be first, because like attracts like. If you want to be more nourished, figure out ways in your day-to-day that you can find ways to nourish yourself. It might be a beautiful shower or having a delicious meal. Then once you find that you're in your being state in the day-to-day, minute by minute, then you do through inspired action, not this incessant striving, which I know we're all exhausted. And then you tend to have what you want anyway. And that's the whole catch-22, is that when you're in vibrational alignment with who you want to be, you do through inspiration, you have all the stuff anyway. And number 7 is a huge one. Most people are trying to build success, fulfillment, and happiness on a really rocky foundation. If you wanted to build a flourishing garden, you wouldn't go and throw all the beautiful rosebuds and bits and pieces in with the weeds, would you? But that's exactly what people do. If you don't weed what's not working in your life, you're trying to build your success on a really unstable launching pad. I look at the weeding component as the trifecta of trouble, and it's usually fear, worry, and doubt. Make sure you take the time to really honor, hear, and transform those components. Then when you're solid, start your seeding process of what you truly desire, which is often the states. I hope that gave you some insight. I know a lot of people have this issue because I've spoken to them over thousands of hours. Now, I did promise you 2 questions, and this is perfect for your weeding and seeding component. These 2 alchemic questions are, what do I gain by staying stuck? And what do I lose by succeeding? People often gain something by not moving forward. They might think that if they move up in the world that their friends won't like them. Or alternatively, they might lose if they succeed because they might lose some freedom. So really ask yourself those 2 questions. They are the best weeding questions, and they're my gift to you.